Hey YouTube fans, this is Trinity Productions, TrinityProSound.com, coming at you again with another one of our Take It Apart videos. This time it is on a DB Technologies ES503 system. This is a new mini column system, compact, includes the low frequency driver, pole mount, and a couple of speakers. This happens to be their stereo version. Some of the features in this box, let's see if we can spin this around here and see kind of what they're listing on it. But DSP interface, stereo or mono configuration, triamp digital active system. It has digital mixer on board, 3 input channels. It has Bluetooth, which works really well, and customizable balanced output channel. The column array locks together and you can separate it and get another pole, and you have a stereo system with the low frequency driver. This thing is absolutely amazing. We put this up against a, in fact we did a demo the other day for one of our customers with the Evox 12 and Evox 8 and this. And this came in kind of in between the Evox 8 and the Evox 12 as far as output and clarity. The DSP on this thing is quite nice. Allows you to do some curves for voicing, for playback, and different things with the little 3 input mixer on it. Absolutely fantastic for mixing just a small little group. Mic input, guitar, something like that, keyboards. But the frequency response of this thing is just absolutely amazing. And what we're going to do is get into this and show you why it is, and take it apart, the low frequency cabinet, which has the 12-inch driver in it, and also the amplifier, and then also take apart the top speakers and show you what is included with this new DB Technologies ES503, which stands for Entertainment System. So we're going to go ahead and get into it, show you what comes in the box, and get this video rolling. Okay, so in this system kit, the ES503, we do have the bass bin box with the amplifier. Turn this thing around so you can kind of see with the amplifier with inputs, outputs down here, and standard IEC power input on it. On the top of it, it does have a threaded socket for the pole that goes in it, and they give you a 2-piece extension pole, screws together, nice and compact, and then some Velcro ties to tie the little cable down that goes up to the top boxes. There is a speaker cable that comes out of the back of this and goes up and ties into the top box with Neutrik type compatible speak-on connectors on it, and then comes with your standard either 120 or 220 IEC power cord in the box. And then what really kind of makes this thing shine is the little satellite speakers, and these are plastic. Keep the weight down, but as far as the drivers in it, which we'll get into, nice and light. One of the nice features about this that you can see there is that it has a interlocking tab on it and a set of contacts that when this thing plugs together with the other one, you don't have to run a separate cable up to the extended box when it's operating in mono mode versus stereo mode. So really good idea. So it comes with 2 of those, and each of them A top, B top. But to be able to get these things to go together, it's just a matter of sliding them in and locking them in place, and there you have it. So, and they come apart very easily as well. So as far as the specs on the 503 system that comes in with the little manual here, the data is just, it's a 3-channel system, left, right, and then the low frequency driver. It has 8 3-inch drivers in it, so there's 4 3-inch drivers in each of those little boxes. Has a low frequency 12-inch driver in it. It has a 95 by 65 pattern in it. Max SPL is 121 dB. Amplifier is a Digipro G3 series class amplifier, Class D, 1000 watts. Has a switch mode power supply in it with the power supplies auto ranging for universal around the world. Convection cooling, no fans. And then the display on it, which we'll show you, is an OLED display, very nice. DSP in it is 24-bit, 48 kilohertz, and then it's got factory presets. It's got a dual active peak and RMS and thermal limiting. The crossover frequency on this box is at 206 hertz. That sends everything above that up into the top boxes. Inputs, the mic and instrument channel is a combo XLR 1/4-inch jack, and then does have, as you can see down here, some other input XLR in it as well. We did try the Bluetooth on it and works pretty good. We walked out to 15 to 20 feet and had no issues with Bluetooth connectivity at all on it. Let's see, weight-wise, tops are 4.1 pounds. The subwoofer is 36 pounds. So very light, very manageable. And then inside here, the instructions, they go through and tell you what all the settings and everything are going to do on the ES503. So with that said, I think what we're going to do is go ahead and get into the bottom box here. As you can see, as I was spinning it around, it's got two nice carry handles on it that are part of it. And then, as I said, there is a threaded socket on the top here that you can see that the poles screw in. So it makes a really nice, firm connection and mount for the poles to go into on the top of the speaker, and it has enough weight that it provides ample ballast for the top boxes. So we're going to go ahead and get into this and show you what the low frequency driver is comprised of, and then we'll go into the high frequency drivers, and then look at the Digipro G3 series amplifier, and then go through some of the DSP settings on it, and we'll get the camera zoomed in on that and show you what that's all about as well. Okay, so we've got the grill off and took all the screws out of it. It is standard, probably 16 gauge steel, again with DB Technologies and the others, RCF foam lines, so that keeps stuff out of the speaker and also just provides a nice, clean, professional look to the front of the speaker box. We've got exposed now the 12-inch driver, and as you can kind of see, it's a 12-inch driver in a vented enclosure. And so what we're going to do now is go ahead and get the 12-inch driver pulled out and take a look at that and what the build quality is. It looks like it's a stamped frame type assembly, but we'll take a look at it, see what kind of magnets on it, and what the suspension feels like on the cone of the driver. Okay, so we've got the low frequency driver loose and out, and going to just kind of pull that thing forward a little bit. Whoa! Oops. We peeled some of the wood off the front of the thing. Just go ahead and pull the leads on this, just with compression push-on connectors. It is a DB Technologies speaker. It is a ceramic magnet and stamp frame design. Cone on the thing, as far as the surround is concerned, is pretty rigid, but they've got a nice rubbery type compound on the front of the paper surround on the thing to help with the suspension on it. And magnet wise, this thing probably weighs about 8 or 9 pounds. Is kind of what I'm thinking for the whole assembly of it. So that's the 12-inch driver, and that's what's giving everything all of the low end. They've really done a good job with it. You will not believe, if you hear one of these things, what the low end out of this thing really can do with that driver. It's pretty amazing in this small of an enclosure. So as we take a look inside here, you can see that they do have some dampening material inside the box, and then the leads are covered in kind of a foamy kind of covering, and then it goes into the DigiPro amp in the back there, and that's got a plastic housing around it. But as you can see, the internals of this thing are outfitted and braced very well to keep the rigidity of the cabinet together and keep the resonance down for the low frequencies in this box. And they've done a very good job with that. I had my iPhone sitting on top of this cabinet as I was demoing it, and it didn't vibrate off, which was quite remarkable, to be honest with you. So that in itself was pretty amazing. So driver butts up right to the back of that, and everything is painted. It is made of multi-layer plywood, and one of the nice things about this is this whole surround where the speaker attaches is all on thread certs, so they're all fine thread screws that go in and hold the speaker on. In case you have to replace it, you're not going to strip those out, which is an excellent idea. We'll glue that back in before we put this thing back together, right in the front there, but kind of dropped the speaker on the way out is why that kind of happened. So it does have feet on the bottom of it. So when you're sending it on a surface that you're not going to scratch the cabinet or mar the surface at all. With the driver out of the thing, this whole cabinet, yeah, maybe 15 pounds with the amplifier on the back of it. So that's what comprises the low end. This insert for the speaker stand is in with thread certs as well, and the fine thread screws that go into the top of that to hold that in. But that connection makes a very, very solid mount for the speaker poles that go into the top of this to hold the speakers up on top, even though they're as light as they are. So we're going to go ahead and flip this around, get the DigiPro amp pulled out of the back so we can just kind of see through what the cabinet looks like, and then take a look at the DigiPro amp itself and what that is all about. So now we've got the DigiPro amp out, and as you can see, we can reach through, the cabinet and take a look at all of the bracing and everything in there. But the cabinet is good, solid construction. Again, multi-layer plywood that they've used. It's painted inside and out. It's got this kind of a splatter finish on the thing and done in kind of a satin black. They do have a gasket around the back end here where the amplifier butts up to that enclosure to keep a nice, good, tight air seal around it, so that as the speaker is doing what it needs to, it's not going to have a whole lot of air loss out the back end and out the front end where it needs to go. As far as the amplifier is concerned, we'll spin that around again here, but this is the little plastic box for the back, being held in by some goop there. But the DigiPro amp here that they've got, heatsink, all convection cooled, and as we flip it around, no fans on this thing whatsoever. Pretty much all surface mount technology, getting down into the power supply area down here for it. This whole amp is maybe, even with the plastic box and everything, maybe 5 pounds of weight to the entire amplifier assembly. So DB Technologies with this DigiPro amp kind of being their flagship just goes into everything anymore. And the way that they're able to do things with DSP on board with the top of this module, and you'll see with the OLED screen that we'll have lit up a little bit later, just the things that they can do with that as far as filtering and getting things just nailed for the particular drivers in the box, whether it's a low frequency driver or the little guys in this high frequency driver box. Absolutely stunning what they've been able to do with filtering and getting things perfectly set up and aligned in these boxes as far as the frequency response is concerned. So that's the bass bin part of it. That's what makes up the low frequencies on everything. And again, like we said, it's got quite a bit of output for a 12-inch driver. And like I said, the demo we did the other day with the Evox systems and things, it ran a pretty good solid race against them on the low end. So we're going to go ahead and get this back together, and then what we're going to do is take apart the top boxes, and then once that's done, we'll get in and show you what the display in the DSP in this DB Technologies ES503 is all about. Okay, so we've got the bass bin, low frequency driver all back together, and now we're going to get in and take apart these guys and find out what's so special about the 4 3-inch drivers in each one of these top boxes. So we're going to get to it. So we got it open, and the inside does have a acoustic fabric on the inside that covers over these drivers, and it's all held on by a really nice double sticky back tape that's very sticky. So kids, don't do this at home and peel these things apart just to see the drivers. Grill that goes over it, probably 20 gauge, maybe 18 gauge form steel, but it's good. It's solid for the size of cabinet that it is. This is right side up, and as you can see here, they have done some phasing plugs on these guys to equalize the response on these cabinets. If we flip this around, you can see the box in the back and see the connector there that the speak-on goes into to provide audio power up to the top boxes. To get to the drivers and open this up, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 Phillips screws way down in there that we're going to have to pull apart so we can get into the back of the drivers and see what is so unique about these things. But good solid injection molded plastic. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get into that and get this thing opened up. So we took all the screws out and got it open. There is a little bit of dampening material in the back. All of the drivers are, and we're going to kind of come down here and hopefully you can see with an angle, they are acoustic suspension drivers in a sealed cabinet. And then if we open it up and go around to the back, you can see that all of the drivers are wired together in parallel. And they are, they're open, they're not enclosed back type drivers, and have little magnets on the back with little venting in them for heat dissipation on those little voice coils. But that is the assembly that provides all of the high frequency content from the crossover point, which again, I'm going to have to look up on this. 206 hertz. So everything from 206 on up, probably at like a 24 dB per octave slope between the two boxes, I would imagine, is handled by this guy, or in the mono mode, two of these guys locked together. I can tell you that in the mono mode, when running this thing with two of these guys locked together, the output out of these 8 drivers on the top is amazing. With what they've done with the drivers and these phase plugs, the sibilance and the high frequency out of these things is just, you would think that it's some compression drivers, but it's not. So they've done a very good job with DSP and frequency compensation with those drivers to really give it a very good, solid mid-range and high-frequency sound out of it. Modular box, everything is together with Phillips screws. There's really not much that can go wrong with it. Pole socket here, there is a optional speaker stand for it because this is a smaller than normal pole socket there that you can get in a cable so that you can separate the thing out into a stereo mode for playback for an event or inside a Starbucks or wherever this is being used. With the demo I did the other day in the parking lot, we didn't shoot any footage of that or anything, but with that, we're 100 feet away, and the thing was still kicking out some pretty good solid sound out of the thing, just playing different types of music through it. So what I'm going to do, get this back together, and then we're going to get in and show you what the DSP settings on the back of this thing all are about, and what they look like and what they can do, because it's pretty nice what they've done with this little built-in mixer on the back of the DB Technologies ES503. Okay, so now we're together. We've got the bass box, low frequency driver box, turned facing me, DSP here facing the camera, and then we've got the little top box on it up there. Probably not going to fire it up, maybe till we turn it around and close video out. But what we're going to do is get into and show you all about what this OLED display is, and the little mixer on the unit, and what that can do with this Digipro G3 series amplifier. So when we boot up, it pops up, it says ES503, loads the firmware on it, and then pops up with the main level controls and shows us that we've got controls for the mic input here, which will take an XLR or 1/4 inch, and then we have channel 1, channel 2, and then the linking port here, and everything is controlled by this knob. So as you can see, as we are rotating the knob, everything's moving, and gets us also into the menu. But everything shows you, as far as the gain is concerned, of what the gain is. It gives you a display here of what the input gain is on it, and then also the input levels. So what we're going to do is get back to the, and then that it pretty much replicates on every channel. We do have it set up into mono mode. That is the main level right there of the system, so you can take it down or turn it all the way up, and then go back into the channels again. So we're into the main menu. System settings gets us into a mono, stereo, or a double mode. So stereo gets us into the main unit and the satellite. And then let's go back. Go back again. So now you can set it into double mode, so that you've got two of these set up in a stereo configuration, which kind of puts each one in a mono mode configuration. But for when we did our demo the other day, we just had it set up into mono mode. So we're going to go into the next, and then it'll ask us on the mic inputs whether that input's a mic or an instrument input. That's channel 1. Channel 2 does the same thing. Let's go back again. Going to next. We do have Bluetooth. You can tell the Bluetooth on or off. Tell on the auxiliary mix output on whether that's just a link or a auxiliary out. On the menu system, back again, once we go, we've got DSP presets here that you can go into playback mode. So you can select flat, playback, club mode. So it gives you some different options. Vocal mode there kind of gives a boost up here on the high end. Club mode gives you that kind of the smiley face. Playback gives you less of a little smiley face. Flat is flat. Monitor mode goes in and pulls down, typically what some of the hotspot frequencies are. Anti-feedback goes in and does some controlling as far as what anticipated feedback points would be. And then you can go in and do custom equalization on it as well. So a lot of capabilities there. We're going to go ahead and set it flat, and then go back to home. Come back over here to the menu. Bluetooth settings, you can set that up. Let's see here. Advanced settings. You can set the sub level. You can set filters on the mic input, anti-feedback filters, high pass filters. So I mean, there's just so much built into this thing. It's just absolutely astonishing what they've been able to do with the DSP, especially at this price point level and what this thing offers. You can end up storing and recalling some menu settings if you have your own special presets, password options in there. You can also set the contrast of the display, how long it'll go into standby. So I mean, there's just so much as far as, you know, capabilities that are in there. Right now we've got it set, so looks like we've got it set into, let's go back into system settings. I just got it set for a and there we are. So it's set for just a mono setup, single system, and then we just have gone in and set everything as far as all the level controls just to their default positions on it. Does have a little port on here that you can pull this little gizzy off, and you can update the firmware via a mini USB connection there on the box. Down here at the bottom, which I'm going to pan down a little bit. Sorry if this seems a little bit jerky, but we'll go ahead and pan down on the amplifier here and take a look at the bottom. But we've got power switch here, standard IEC fuse here, and then we've got the outputs here, so that this is the stereo right and this is stereo left connection, or this is in the mono AB configuration, and it tells you right here that that's what that is on the box, so that when you plop that in you'll know. But just playing with the different settings and playing with the Bluetooth on it, this little box I think is going to be fantastic for just, you know, small bands, maybe not full-on rock and roll for a couple hundred people, but you're going to be looking at something that, you know, it's going to be able to provide quite a bit of output, really, that is, you know, going to, you know, provide sufficient audio, especially with a pair of these things, to a venue, even for, you know, dancing DJ kind of stuff. Fantastic for weddings. Because this box is so small and set up for a wedding or something that you're not going to even see them. With a little mixer input, weddings done outside, you want to pull it inside to run DJ music or something through, you can do that. And then if there's a band playing, you know, you can do band through it or whatever with a little mixer on the thing. So they've got a really nice system, and again, no fans on it to make any noise, and everything is just convection cooled. Had it running the other day and doing the demo for almost 3 hours, and the thing just didn't heat up at all. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and maybe play a little bit of music through it. You're not going to be able to hear it worth crap because of the microphone that I'm wearing, but I really encourage you to demo these things somewhere if you can. If not, give us a call. We can talk you through it and really kind of give you some better opinions on it, rather than here on the video and talk about what your specific applications are and how it might be used. So we're all back together and get everything hooked up, make sure it's working again. So just running a little bit of background music through it just to make sure everything is functioning on it. So anyway, that is the DB Technologies ES503 system. So pretty remarkable, nice, compact. There are carry bags available for them to protect them as well. But they've done a great job with this. If you have any other questions, drop us a line here on YouTube, or you can email us through the website at www.tunertech.com. trinityprosound.com. Our telephone number is area code 209-832-8023 if you're in Northern California. Passing through, look us up, give us a call. Love to meet you, and we can demo some equipment that you may be interested in as well. So that's it. Thank you for stopping by, watching the video, and stay tuned for more that will be coming from RCF and DB Technologies. And we're also going to have some other videos on our new Allen and Heath D-Live console coming up as well. So there you have it. Trinity Productions, trinityprosound.com.